This is Pav Bamber here for PSB Sports. With me today, I've got a very special guest from Ireland. It's Mr. Sean Turner, Big Sexy. Sean, how you doing? You alright there?
Good, pal, yeah. Very good.
Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. So, for those of you that don't know, Sean made his debut on the 14th of January of 2014. Been a pro for around 18 months now. He trains out in Marbella for his training camps, also in Ireland where he lives. He's 7-0 with 5 knockouts. So, Sean, your last fight was against Gabor Farkas in Dublin on an MGM show. You knocked the guy out in the first round. Very convincing performance. How do you look back? How do you look back on that particular fight, Sean?
Well, your man was big and tall and awkward kind of, but I was in good shape and
Yeah.
just caught him sweet early on and finished him off.
Obviously, bit by bit, I'm sure as you're only 7 fights in, you will get much tougher tests. Your next fight, I think you've said it's in February. Is that correct?
No, the next fight, yeah, the next fight is on the 5th of February.
5th of
It's
February.
less than 2 weeks away.
Okay, and are you aware of an opponent for that date yet, Sean?
I'm aware of an opponent at the moment, but he's not written in stone, so I can't release just yet. But it's a tough opponent, and he's been in with a lot of good fighters in England.
Would you say it's quite a step up from your previous 7 fights so far?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a bit of a step up, all right. But he's decent enough, and he goes the rounds. You know, he's not. I don't think he's a great boxer, but he's tough, and he will give me rounds. That's the plan.
So something you're looking for there is rounds, and which is clearly evident with your current record so far. You've been finishing opponents off pretty early with your high knockout rate, 5 out of 7. So obviously, I mean, fair enough. You can't give the name of the guy or anything like that. Can you give any slight clues, smallest of ones to the fans as to anyone? Like, is he British? Is he European or
Yeah,
anything
he's
like that?
English. He's English, yeah. He's English, and he's been in with Anthony Joshua. He's been in with Chisora. He's been in with Jonathan Banks.
Okay,
That gives
interesting.
you a good idea who it is, you know.
Okay, yep, interesting. So hopefully the fans there can put two and two together and
Yeah,
and see who it
it's
is.
stupid not to know, you know.
Yeah, no, I understand. I hear that. So obviously, as the tests get tougher, you're out in Marbella in the very hot weather there, training hard. I can tell from your face already, you're looking much more leaner. It looks like you've lost a lot of weight from your previous fight against Farkas. Talk to me about MGM Marbella, Sean. How has that benefited you and your training style so far, if it has?
Well, basically, I'm taken away from all the madness in Ireland, you know,
Yeah.
all the crap food and
Mhm.
stuff like that, you know. When I'm out in Spain, I have a set routine. I have food made for me every time after training, so there's no crap being eaten, you know what I mean? We're training regime, we just eat, sleep, and breathe boxing out there, and that's it. That's just my whole life out there. Over here, I have a lot of distractions. I have friends going out for meals. I have
Sure.
kids, you know what I mean? The preparation over here, I put the training in, but you know, sometimes I can let things slip a little bit.
No, I understand. I mean, a lot of fighters, as I've mentioned before, such as Billy Joe Saunders, Matthew Macklin, Tommy Martin, who has a fight coming up on Saturday, they all praise the fantastic facilities out there in MGM Marbella with the food, nutritionists, so on and so forth. Then it actually maximises their boxing performance on the night, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant, you know. Even the weather's good all the time. You get up in the morning, you don't mind going training. You get up in the morning, you look out the window, it's pissing rain, it's
Yeah,
freezing cold. You say to yourself, you'd rather stay in bed. But
sure.
over there, it's always, it's more 99% of the time it's good weather. You're around good people all the time. You're around people that are going to push it. It's just the surroundings are brilliant out there, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think one main thing, fighters in general that are going to Big Bear or all these different places around the world for warm weather training, so on and so forth, to get away from the UK. And yeah, and you can see the difference on their body and their physique when they're training. And when it comes to fight night, actually as well, they always say the warm weather training was a testament to how I fought on the night.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's if you've obviously been to boxing shows before.
Yep.
Towards the end of the night, if you have a crowd there and a small arena, it's absolutely roasting. You're not even in the ring and you're sweating
Yeah.
The sweat's coming through your t-shirt yourself. So you just imagine underneath them lights how hot it gets.
Exactly, I can imagine. Very, very, very hot.
Yeah.
So, Sean, in general, as we speak now, the heavyweight scene worldwide is very, very open, and I think that was just displayed the other day when Charles Martin came out of nowhere to become IBF heavyweight champion. So, in terms of the British heavyweight scene now, and Irish, of course, for yourself, in the next 12 months or so, which kind of fights would you like to have? Are you talking about Joshua's, Dave Allen, Richard Towers, Dillian White? What sort of fights are you anticipating on the domestic level in the next 12 months?
Listen, once money's right, I'll fight any one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would never shy away from a fight. This is what I'm here to do. I'm a fighter. I'm not a runner. I don't run away from fights or shy away from fights. Whatever the management thinks is best for me, that's the fight I'll take. But listen, this time next year I hope to be in big fights. I don't fight anybody.
Also, notably, one other thing I've seen on your Twitter and numerous other stuff as well is that have you had some training experience with the Furies at some point?
Yeah. I've been at the start of the year in 2015. I was over there for 3 camps.
Sure.
Furies 2 camps with Derek CHISORA.
Okay.
The one he had with that German guy, what's his name?
Christian Hammer.
Yeah. I was there for them 3 camps. And I was close to signing with Fury's camp as well.
Oh, wow.
But I actually didn't in the end.
Because
if the Irish connections in Spain and back here was just going to work out better than me going to England all the time, you know?
No, I hear that. But how was that? Obviously, Tyson Fury now heavyweight world champion. Hughie Fury, 18-0 on the rise himself. You've got a world championship training, Peter Fury. How was that experience for yourself as a young fighter training with them?
Excellent. It just goes to show that I can mix it with the best, you know? I've been in there with Tyson Fury. I've given numerous rounds. They didn't bring me back to camp for no reason. I went back 3 times.
Sure.
Partner, you know what I mean? So Peter said to me, he says, listen, all you need is to get the fitness and the conditioning part right. He says, you know how to fight.
Of course. And also, Sean, sparring as well. Sparring with guys like, I assume, Eddie Chambers as well, you must have sparred with, Hughie and Tyson.
Sparred Eddie Chambers, Tyson. I sparred Hughie. I sparred Tyson's younger brother, Hughie.
Okay, yeah, young Fury, yeah.
Done a couple of rounds with a couple of Americans that was out there. I can't remember the names now.
Might have been Steve Cunningham as well, maybe.
No, it wasn't Steve Cunningham. It was a fella called. Oh, Jay, I can't remember his name now.
That's alright.
They were. It wasn't Cunningham. Cunningham didn't come for these camps.
Okay.
Two other American guys and Eddie Chambers, yeah.
So, that's more or less on the domestic level. You're open and happy to fight anybody. We've had quite a big end to the year with Anthony Joshua and Dillian White. With someone like Dillian White, who was unfortunately knocked out in the 7th round, but it looks like he almost knocked out Joshua in the 2nd round himself. Fighters that suffer losses and stuff like that. How difficult is it for a fighter when they lose to come back to the same guy as they were before, or is it more of a learning experience to be like, you know what, I did that wrong in sparring, or I did that wrong in training, so the fighter knows how to improve? Because with someone like David Price, we've seen unfortunately the dramatic losses Tony Thompson and guys like that have had in his career. So how can a fighter come up from a devastating loss and build up again to where he was before?
To be honest with you, I don't know, because I haven't been in that situation.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I understand that.
Listen, we're all fighters, and at the end of the day, like, I know if I got beaten, it would just make me come back twice as good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This is a fight game. You know what I mean? Things like this are gonna happen, no matter what way you look at it. You know what I mean? Somebody's totally gonna get hurt. And unfortunately, David Price got it. Unfortunately, Dillian White got it.
Yeah.
You don't expect to get in there and not be hurt. This is a fight game, you know what I mean? Something's got to happen. And whether it's you or your opponent that happens, listen, just get up and get over it. That's what I say anyway.
Fair enough. Now, in terms of the British heavyweight scene, as I was saying before, Richard Towers and Dave Allen, which is eliminated for the British title. How do you see that fight going, Sean?
Well, I sparred David Allen over at MGM last summer,
Okay.
and he's big, strong man. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
And I've never been in the ring with Towers, but I think Towers is a bit chinny, you know. I've seen a couple of his fights, and I've seen him being chinned, you know, by both as opposed to by heavy punchers. But to be honest with you, I don't really know what way that fight goes. I don't know too much about them. I haven't watched too much on them, so I couldn't give you a prediction. To be honest with you.
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's quite a 50-50 fight because Dave Allen's kind of on the up right now.
Yeah.
He's been boxing well. Richard Towers got stopped by Lucas Brown, who's now fighting Chigaev for the WBA title. So,
Yeah.
and Richard Towers is obviously training now with Adam Booth, so he hasn't been in the ring for a while. So I think it's 50-50, but if I had to sway towards someone just, it'll probably be Dave Allen just, but I literally can't call it because Towers is a big guy, he's 6'8", he could use his reach advantage effectively, but Dave Allen's a big, strong guy and he looks powerful. So
Yeah.
it's a real pick on fight.
He has a great job at Dave Allen. Fast, sharp, he's strong as an ox. But Towers can punch, you know. But listen, Peter Fury told me about Dave Allen before I sparred him, and he said you'd hit this man with a baseball bat and you wouldn't knock him out, you know. So
Wow.
could be a distance fight. And I've seen Towers being stopped before. So I hope Dave gets through and goes on and wins, because I became friends with Dave, like.
Yeah.
But I wish them both the best of luck anyway, you know. I'll be definitely watching that. I'll have me eye on that fight.
Yeah, I'm actually looking very, very forward to that fight. I think that's one of the best 50-50 fights on a British heavyweight level that's happened in a while.
Yeah.
Also, Sean, I've noticed on your Twitter you're trying to get 2,500 followers, aren't you? Have you reached that yet?
No, I'm not far off. I'm about 60 off, I think.
All right, okay, right. So everyone's watching this. I'll put Sean's Twitter in the description and make sure you follow him so we can get that 2.5k. Fingers crossed you can get there.
Cool, man.
Yeah, good stuff. So, oh yeah, and also one other thing we have to talk to you about definitely is your press conferences, weighing antics, your vocal character. You like to give your opinion on your opponent or anything on the press conference, the weigh-in. Is that? I mean, it's always interesting, isn't it? Like fighters talk about having psychological advantages prior to getting into the ring. George Groves talks a lot about George Groves believes fully that if you can have a psychological advantage before you get into the fight, it will help you. So your vocal character out of the ring, is that to kind of get into your opponent's head a bit, or is it because of the fun of boxing and how much you enjoy the sport?
It's just me, to be honest. You know, it's just the way I am. You know, that kind of way. It's not an act. It's not anything. It's just a fight at the end of the day, and I just speak the truth. Like, you know what I mean? What I think is going to happen, I will say it, and I have no problem saying it. And
Sean, you're right. To be fair, I think, in all fairness to you as well, I think to keep people interested in boxing as well, we need this sort of entertainment, don't we? We need the entertainment factor for someone to be like, yeah, I'm going to order that, or I'm going to watch that fight tomorrow, because boxing isn't one of the mainstream sports in the UK. So obviously there's a line, fighters come across, everyone knows that, but we all know that you got to keep the fans entertained, haven't you? You've got to make people think, yo, I want to tune in tomorrow night and watch Sean Turner.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you have to sell tickets to make the fight more interesting. You know what I mean? And the more people you put on seats, the more money you make. So, listen, if you want to come and watch me get beat or win, I don't care. You know what I mean? Once the people are there, I'm happy, and that's it.
Absolutely. Now, on 16th of January at the O2, David Haye officially made his comeback into the heavyweight scene. What do you make of David Haye's comeback? Do you think it'll be a successful one? And what do you make of his performance against Martin Demori?
I think he looked in great shape for the fight. I think he looked very sharp. I think he is going to come back. I think he beats Anthony Joshua.
Now?
Okay. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Haye. Demori was a pushover fight.
Yeah, agreed.
I still think Haye beats Joshua tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough. I think
Haye is very hard puncher and he's very quick.
Yeah,
After what DILLIAN WHYTE could have done to Joshua in the second round of our fight, I think Haye's just too sharp and too fast, too strong.
Yeah, I think I don't think Matchroom have obviously Joshua's fighting on April the 9th yet, on April the 9th next, and I don't think Matchroom have spoken as loudly about the Haye Joshua fight as David Haye has, possibly because of the reasons you just suggested. Maybe.
Yeah, it's too early for Joshua. You know what I mean? It's way too early for Joshua. I think Chisora will be a better fight next for Joshua. Will still be a tough fight, but I think he could beat Chisora. You know, it will be a tough test. That would really show if he beat Chisora, that would really show that he is a top heavyweight. And then maybe one more fight, an Eastern European, and then I'd go on to Haye. I'd keep away from Haye for a minute anyway. If I was him.
Yeah, likewise. I think also the fact that David Haye's packed on. I think when he fought Chisora, he was 210 pounds. Fought Martin Moy, 227 pounds. Yeah, he's probably got a bit more fat on it, but it mainly looks like solid muscle David Haye's put on.
He looked great, man. He looked solid as a rock, I thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what, Sean? To be fair, I think David Haye said openly in interviews that previously he tried to come in as close to cruiserweight as he can for speed, but now he's saying that he wants to feel like a heavyweight, look like a heavyweight. And to be fair, I think this new weight and this muscle mass he's got on him, I think it's only going to benefit him against the bigger guys, the stronger guys, because his speed and power still looks there, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely it's still there, and he looked big and strong, you know. He really looked like a heavyweight this time.
In terms of Joshua's on April 9th, you mentioned there Derek Chisora. I was thinking someone like maybe Sam Sexton as well to maybe defend his British heavyweight title with. What other opponents do you think could be in the mix for April the 9th?
I'm not too sure. Big Daddy Brown's out of question. He's fighting for the WBA.
Yeah, he's fighting Chigaev.
Maybe. Well, I highly doubt Charles Martin, but that would be a good fight. I think Joshua would beat him.
Speaking of Charles Martin, the IBF have actually offered him Joshua an eliminator. So I think if he wins that, he can get pretty high up the rankings for Charles Martin.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So
it'll be a good fight for Joshua, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think the Charles Martin fight, it'll be kind of unprecedented for a guy 50 and 60 and 0 maybe to go and fight for a world title that early. But you never know. I mean, anything can happen in heavyweight boxing. It only takes a good shot to knock someone out potentially.
Yeah, well, I think if he's fit enough and he can go the distance, he beats Martin, and I think he could knock Martin out. I don't think Martin's not all that good, you know. He's only boxing. He's not boxing a long time, Martin. Like, you know what I mean? What's his name? Joshua has the pedigree, and I think he beats Martin. I think Martin's a weak champion, you know. I think he's lucky to be where he is now. Everybody gets a bit of luck now and again, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, Joshua does beat him anyway, I think.
It's in terms of the the heavyweight scene over the world, you've got one big thing we have to talk about is obviously a friend of yours, Tyson Fury, Vladimir Klitschko, their rematch. When I interviewed Peter Fury about 2 weeks ago, he said to me that at that point 2 weeks ago that the negotiations were done. They were just trying to finalize a venue and a few other things in the contract and where it would be and stuff like that. So it looks like they're just trying to find the venue. I asked him about Wembley Stadium. He said, I'll take Wembley. There's been rumours about the Allianz Arena or Bayern Munich Stadium. First of all, do you think that fight should be in the UK this time with Fury?
I'd love to see it in the UK, yeah. I'd love to see it in Wembley.
I love it as well. And also, there's a slight conspiracy theory as well that, a lot of people didn't want Tyson to be world champion the first time, right? They had pretty much so many people going against him. Not many people wanted him to be champion. So, do you think as a safer bet as well, it's better to have it in the UK? Because if it's in Germany, he could get robbed the second time.
Yeah. He could. Even Dave, I think David Haye said that in an interview that the second time he fights Klitschko, if it's in Germany, he could be robbed, you know? So
exactly.
He's the champion now. He calls the shots, and if I was him, I'd have it in Wembley.
Yeah, same for me. I pray to God that the Furies get it in, because that was the only thing Peter said to me that was left, the venue. So if they can get that in England with decent judges, a hometown crowd, because I think he's done the hard bit. He's gone over there, taken the champion. They've taken the champions titles. Thankfully, he got the decision because he won the fight clearly. But the question is now, if it's not in England, are they going to let Fury walk away with the titles? That's the question, isn't it?
It's a hard one, all right. But if I was him, I definitely would have it in Wembley. I wouldn't have it in Germany, not a hope.
Exactly. Likewise, I'd fingers crossed that is in the UK. So how do you see that rematch going, Sean?
Well, hopefully, yeah, I think Klitschko or Fury wins again. You know, I think he's too big and too awkward now. And after watching the first fight, Tyson's just going to improve and hopefully do it again and bring the belts back and fight, open up and see bigger and better fights. To be honest with you, I don't want to see Klitschko and Fury again. I want to see a Fury and Wilder.
Yeah,
Fury.
likewise.
No, I've seen Fury and Klitschko already. I don't want to watch it again. I'd love to see him fight some other heavyweights.
I hear that. To be honest, I think when Tyson was out in New York as well, there's numerous YouTube videos of him online. I think even I don't know, but the perception I'm getting is that Tyson really wants the Wilder fight. That's the fight he wants, you can tell. And that's going to be an exciting fight because they had that little scuffle, didn't they, in the ring? That was obviously promotion for the fight, which is fair enough. But, that was good little entertainment, wasn't it? Them two in the ring head to head.
Ah, yeah, it was great. Fury likes to come in and put a bit of a show on, you know, it was all for the cameras, but that would sell tickets, and I think Wilder looked up for it to me.
Yeah, he does, isn't it?
He didn't look afraid or anything like that, and Fury was doing an old dance around the ring, throwing his jacket on the ground and stuff, which is funny, but I think Wilder is not afraid of Fury, and I think he would take the fight if it's offered or if they agree or whatever.
So with Fury Klitschko, you believe Fury wins the rematch again, and with Fury Wilder, that's a very interesting fight because obviously you've got Deontay Wilder, WBC champion now. To be honest, Sean, I don't know how on earth this happened, but he's had 3 voluntary defenses in a year, which is unprecedented. He hasn't had 1 mandatory enforcing him yet. So in the past year, he's had 3 pretty good experiences with Molina, Johan Duhaupas, and Artur Spilka. How do you look back on his first year reign as champion?
Well, he done everything he can. He won all his fights, you know. So we can't really say much bad about him. But listen, he needs to fight that mandatory, doesn't he? And see how he is then.
Yeah.
Alexander Povetkin, isn't it?
Yeah, Alexander Povetkin.
I think Povetkin beats Wilder. To be honest, I think Povetkin's tough. I think he's strong, and Wilder hasn't got much of a chin either. I've seen him being wobbled. I think I like Povetkin. I like his style. I think the fight's quite similar to Povetkin. Like I like to say that myself.
Interesting.
I think he could beat Wilder. I think he could.
Wow, that's a good statement there. I think I understand where you're coming from. I think Wilder first year does need that mandatory 3 voluntary defenses in the year. He does that. Povetkin fight is going to happen, regardless. If
in April, isn't it? I heard around April sometime.
Right, hear this right. If it's in Russia, do you think if it's in the US, people, the YouTube boxing community are saying if the fight's in the US, Wilder wins. If it's in Russia, Povetkin wins. That's what a lot of the YouTube boxing community is saying. What do you think?
Yeah, well, you could be right. I don't think that fight will go on points either way.
Yeah, it's likely to be a stoppage again.
But sometimes the most likely fights that you think are going to be knockouts go the distance.
Yeah, but it's funny because I thought it's funny you said because I thought Stavern Wilder would end in a knockout.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Like, someone said to me, there's definitely going to be a knockout. And I said, listen, don't expect a knockout because when you expect a knockout fight, it always goes the distance. It's just the way it is.
Exactly, and Wilder's over the past year, he's had these 3 defenses. He's gained a lot of experience, but with that experience, which is a positive thing, fair play to Wilder. He's been everyone who's asked of him. So credit to Deontay. I wish him all the best. But a lot more questions have actually come up about Wilder, notably with the awkwardness that Spilka posed to him with the southpaw stance. He's been hit on the chin a few times, and notably his footwork when he launches thousands of right hands looks a bit off. So, although he's getting this experience, would you say to an extent that actually more and more questions are coming up about Wilder with the things I just mentioned?
Yeah, well, after the last fight, he didn't look too comfortable until he really caught him with the punch, didn't he? Against Spilka, he didn't look that comfortable against the southpaw until he caught him with the right hand.
Sure.
Some people thought that Spilka was up. I thought it was around even because it was in America, but then he came out with that devastating right hand and finished it off.
It was a very good knockout. I think Spoker maybe could have done a bit better, but not getting knocked out because his chin was literally right there for Deontay to knock out.
Yeah, he kind of. I think he just lost focus and kind of jumped in and didn't really think about the shot he was throwing, because he was good up until the ninth, and then he started getting a bit tired. I thought, and concentration went.
Yeah, I hear that.
It was a scary knockout, I must say.
Yeah, what, he's knocked out 35 out of 36, so 93% knockout record. Pretty impressive, right? Fair enough, he hasn't fought the best of opponents, agreed. But he didn't knock out Stavern, but he's knocked out everyone except Stavern, you know, and Stavern was WBC champion anyway. So, you know, it shows that the guy has got power. And there was a sense of maturity about him in the Stavern fight, wasn't there? Compared to before.
Yeah, he boxed great in the Stavern fight.
It was
how Stavern stood up, I don't know. Stavern is a tough man.
Yeah, very, very tough. And he controlled it. He controlled it with the jab, kept it at range. He boxed a smart fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
A very, very smart fight.
He boxed well, yeah. He won every round. I think Stavern was actually down once, but he said it was a slip or something like that. I think Wilder actually hurt him, you know.
Yeah, it looked like he knocked him down.
Stavern didn't turn up for that fight.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he was.
A lot of people said he didn't really box great. He just took a beating for 12 rounds.
Yep. Apparently he was dehydrated. I don't know. Had a bad camp, so on and so forth. I don't believe he's fought since the Wilder fight. I haven't seen him fight at all. But nevertheless, I think Stavern's still a good talent. Beat Chris Arreola twice. So you know, it's like I say, heavyweight seems wide open right now. Now we mentioned Wilder, mentioned Fury and Martin. I know I've spoken to you about this before, but if you had to choose one route now that you go down, Sean, which one and why?
Which fight?
Yeah, which champion would you choose right now if you had to go down that route?
I would fight Martin next. But I think if I wanted a big money fight, it would have to be Fury, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would in terms of finances.
I'm not up at world level now at the moment, you know. I'm only 7 fights in, but listen, if it was money wise, Fury would make sense, and if I really wanted the world title, I think Martin would make sense.
What do you see in Charles Martin? Sorry.
Martin would be the easiest option.
I was just going to ask you, what do you see in Charles Martin that you believe that you can exploit?
I just think that he's not boxing long, you know. He hasn't got that much experience, and he would be an awkward. He's big, he's tall, he's a southpaw, he hits hard. But listen, I've been my sparring partner in my amateur gym was a southpaw for 6 or 7 years, you know. I know southpaws at the back of my hand, and I think he'd be easier to beat than Fury and Wilder.
Okay, fair enough. And with Fury and Wilder, that fight, that's a 50-50 fight in a lot of people's opinion. Can you call that now, or is it too difficult to call, would you say?
I think it's too difficult to call, you know. I would hope that Fury would win it. But listen, this is heavyweight boxing and anything can happen.
Yeah, 100%. So, with yourself now, you already mentioned you're fighting in February. Firstly, Sean, how many times do you anticipate on getting out this year, in 2016? And secondly, when you anticipate fighting for stuff like Irish heavyweight title, English heavyweight title, and so on and so forth?
By the end of the year, I'll hopefully go for some titles, maybe 5 times this year. If we can get one fight every month, I'll fight every month. It's up to my management team, you know what I mean?
Exactly, I understand.
It's not up to me, but this is my job, this is my hobby, this is what I love. So every time I'm offered a fight, I'll take it, no problem. And hopefully by the end of the year, listen, we'll have belts around my waist.
Fingers crossed. Sean, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me your time. Guys, keep it on Sean Turner. I'm going to put his Twitter in the description below. Get him to 2.5k, hopefully 3k, and many more followers. 7-0 next out in February. So once again, Sean, I want to thank you for your time talking to me today, and hopefully we can catch up again soon. Thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
That's all right, buddy. No problem at all. All the best, guys. Take care.
Man, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.